my recommendation is people just get a U.
A me?
Yeah, a U.
Like a James in a box?
Okay. We're James and Kester with Boundless Product Keys, and today we're going to talk to you about safety items. My biggest recommendation, get yourself a James.
A James, not
My
this James.
James is taken, but get yourself a James, and it's going to help with your safety quite a bit.
That's right.
If you don't have one, stay tuned, and we're going to go over some stuff that will help you in RV life and probably just life in general.
Yeah. Let's go check it out. All right, this first one was on a video we did, I don't know, not too long ago, but I talked about having a fire extinguisher because for those that don't know, I was a firefighter for 18 years, Army, Air Force. And while showing you guys the inspection on what to look for, I came across our
Fire
extinguisher date.
Or expiration
date, and it was way old. So anyways, number one, you gotta get a fire extinguisher, and not just any fire extinguisher. I'm here to tell you that, like, when you look on your fire extinguisher, it should say A, B, and C. That means is you got a fire extinguisher that's for ordinary combustibles, wood, plastic, stuff like that. If you got one that just says AB or BC, that's gonna be just for your vehicle. The chemicals that are on the inside of these extinguishers are made up and engineered to fight certain products. So if you have one sitting in your house that says BC, it's wrong. That's for gasoline and fuels like that. So make sure you got an ABC fire extinguisher. One of the most important things you can do with your fire extinguisher, because we're always bouncing down the road and this is just sitting there, the chemical that's on the inside of these fire extinguishers packs down. And there's a little rod that goes all the way down to the bottom here, and then it's pressurized. So then when you pull your tab and press down, that pressure pushes the powder. You want to say something, don't you?
I'm just saying, so if you don't shake it like a Polaroid picture, then what happens when you pull the pin and you squeeze it? Nothing?
Nothing. It's like concrete. So as I was saying, as I was getting the side eye over here,
you're just so handsome.
As I was saying, you pull the trigger, that gas presses down, pushes the powder up through the tube, and you point it at the base of the fire, not the flames. So if it's just bouncing down the road and you don't ever take it off the hook and shake it like a Polaroid picture or the shake weight,
yeah, shake weight.
Then when you go to use this thing when you need it, it's not going to do any good. So check your extinguisher, make sure it's not expired.
So, question.
Perfect. Question.
Clarification. Should you have both an ABC for your trailer and a BC for your vehicle, or will this one also work on a vehicle fire?
This would work on a vehicle fire, not to the same extent that a BC extinguisher
So it's a good idea to have
So
both?
it is good to have, like in our truck and behind the thing. Do we still have that one?
I hope so,
man,
sir.
I don't
Okay, we're going to go be doing an assessment.
One of your trucks should be a BC. Also, you should have one that's very accessible.
Yeah,
so
ours is right inside the door.
Is right inside the door.
Two tips, 3 tips for the price of one.
Okay, well, let's go on to the next thing I have written down then. This next one, I am never going to live down, so why don't you just go ahead?
I think this first entered our relationship. Maybe we'd been married like 5 years or something.
I don't remember.
It was about a decade ago. Anyway, this is an emergency fire blanket. And after our last video, so many people asked about fire blankets. So let's go little trip down memory lane. Probably like 10 years ago, I mentioned something about a fire blanket. And what did you say to me?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
I don't remember.
What you said was, "What's that?
Okay.
Nobody uses those."
You guys, like I said, I was a captain for 11 years at a career department. I had been through academies. I was an instructor. I had done everything. 18 years of fire experience. I have never once seen, heard, or needed a fire blanket until I got married. And then all of a sudden, there's new things. And so, I may or may not have said, what the beep is
dumb.
a fire blanket? You just going to go throw a blanket over a fire?
You did. And I said, that's exactly what you're going to do. Anyhow.
It was like one of those things that you never hear or see about. And then as soon as somebody brings it to your attention, I saw it everywhere. I'm flipping through my phone. All of a sudden, all these firefighters are covering cars with fire blankets. I'm like, you paid them all. So what do we got?
An emergency fire blanket.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read from the back of it. Extinguish small fires quickly and easily with no mess. Unlike common fire extinguishers.
Oh, okay.
Effective on liquid or grease fires.
Interesting.
Keep one in your kitchen, backyard, garage, and vehicle. So honestly, this really is a good thing to have. Super simple. What did this one cost? It was less than $10.
Yeah, I got it off Amazon. And the only reason I bought it was so I could show you guys and take a trip down memory lane.
And
but
the
I'm sure
safety of our family.
Yeah, that too.
What do we got next? How else are you keeping me safe?
Detectors. We got a number of detectors. Smoke detectors, water detectors, gas detectors. So I'm just gonna, in a nutshell, let's start with smoke detectors. The most important thing about smoke detectors is pulling them out of the drawer you put them in when you were cooking bacon and you got really tired of them going off all the time. So pull those out. Make sure you check the 9-volt battery.
Yep.
Put it on your tongue. Check it. Put it back in and then plug this thing back in. They do have a test button. When I was a firefighter, we every single month we had what was called monthlies, and we'd have to go around and we'd have to hit all the smoke detectors in certain buildings. Super annoying, but you press it to make sure it works.
Let's do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah, do it. Is that it?
Maybe it doesn't work. Oh, there it goes. Okay, that's why it may or may not have been in the drawer.
Our smoke detector
Smoke detector works.
In case you were wondering.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm still doing detectors because you got water.
Yep.
Gas and CO detectors. CO gas is roughly the same weight as air. So you could kind of put those in a number of different places, usually 5 feet. Make sure that your pets or your kids aren't going to be bumping into them and knocking them down. However, in an RV, a lot of times you have on the floor gas and CO detectors mixed.
Is it propane?
And that's because LPG or propane is definitely heavier than air. So it will, like if you had a leak on your stove, the gas would roll over, invisible gas would roll over and it would start to displace the oxygen. And what happens is the oxygen rises and rises and rises. And then eventually you get to this point where you're laying down sleeping, you go sleepy night-night. And you don't want to go sleepy night-night. You want an alarm to go off. You want that detector to go off, which is on the ground. So every now and then, also check that you got a green light and press the annoying button.
And do not clean it with a Clorox or Lysol wipe unless you want to hear how loud it is.
That's right. Why would that have happened?
And you think you're done with detectors, but you're not.
I'm not.
Because you also have, I know this is not what it's called, but it's what I'm going to call it, the sniffer.
The sniffer?
The sniffer detector. Yeah, you did.
My little gas meter?
Which is really cool.
Okay, so what she's talking about is also, it's actually, I'll show it on one of the things we're going to do outside. Yeah. But it's a gas detector and mine has like a little wand. I got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. But it is a sniffer. And so in spots where you don't want to walk around and spray with like bubbly water to see if you got a leak, like when you're around a lot of electrical equipment, especially like our furnace, when I was doing some work on our furnace, you could extend that and put it back by the gas lines where the fittings were at and it'll read yay or nay.
Yeah, to help you find a leak, right?
Yeah. Okay. The sniffer.
The sniffer. That's what I like calling it. The sniffer.
What do you got?
Okay. I have this.
What is that?
So this is a water detector.
That's right.
I always call it a leak detector because that's what we want it to do, is detect leaks. So we put these in lots of places. These ones are really inexpensive. We have one in our wet bay. Yep. We have one by our water pump. We have one under both toilets, our bathroom, kids' bathroom, under bathroom sinks, and under the kitchen sink. So these come in like a 6 or an 8-pack, really inexpensive. They make a really loud noise that we're not going to show you right now because I don't want to jump scare again. Oh, we're going to do it.
Let's see.
Okay. If your fingers are sweating.
I got it, so we knew it was going off. Okay, sorry.
Okay. How long does it go off for?
Apparently long
enough to wake you up from a dead sleep.
That's
so you run out and you figure out where the leak is from.
Since you're talking about detectors.
Yes, there is a better option that just came out. We actually haven't even tested it yet, but we're going to show it to you guys because it's really cool and it has some really cool features. So we have the whole Blue Tech water filtration system, and they just released their water stop. And I will let you talk about it because you read the instructions.
I did not.
You didn't?
No, I didn't read the...
You just know.
No, I just
knows.
Well,
all right.
We've
Listen
seen
to
this
this
for a
guy
while.
who just knows.
This is called the water stop. We just got it, so I haven't even installed it. And I looked at my notes, and on July 22nd, I'll be posting a What Do You Think Wednesdays about this bad mamba jamba. But this thing, you guys, is kind of like having a surge protector where it just shuts off if something goes wrong. And so this hooks up to your water line. You're in between the spigot and where it comes into your trailer, and it recognizes like catastrophic emergencies, like a big water leak, or you could set parameters on here. Like for instance, if you didn't want water flowing for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, so if you want to make sure your kids only take a 10-minute
That's a
shower,
smart word. We are going to do that.
Go set your parameter on your water stop to 10 minutes. Boom. Water stop,
water
turns
goes
the
off.
water off. No more shower water for those kids.
That's right. So it's got a number of different things. It hooks up to your, it's got an app. It's also got a little keychain remote, because if you've watched some of our videos, every single time we leave our RV, there's a number of things we do. I think there's 6 things we do every single time. One of those is shutting off the spigot or the water going into your trailer. We saw a couple bad accidents where something happened and it just flooded people's RVs. So we said, nope, not us. We turn it off when we leave. Blue Tech has a little keychain. Keep it in your truck. When you jump in, you hit the button and it shuts water off. When you pull back in, you hit the button, turns back on. But where they also got creative with the stops, emergency stops, is similar to the white one you were just holding, is their leak detector. So you place these exact same thing, water comes across these, and instead of just screaming at you, it shuts the water off.
Yeah, and you get a notification if you have the app on your phone.
That's right.
So that you know about it, because that's the worst thing when you see somebody's trailer with water dripping out of it, their car's gone. I know we've gone around before and we've turned people's water off at the spigot, or we'll call the RV park office and be like, hey, site number 22, there is water coming out of this. We turned their water off, so if anybody says anything,
it's like rolling out the front door.
And this way you would be able to be notified about it and be able to do something about it, rather than just be like, oh, my RV's flooding. Maybe I should get back home. Yeah, so lots of functionality in this guy. We're going to test it out. We're going to let you know what we think. But super cool option, because water is an RV's worst nightmare. We still have a few more things, including an on-the-fly install of a safety item. But before we can get to those, we need to thank our channel sponsor, eTrailer. We've been working with them for a couple of years, and they have pretty much anything that you could need for an RV, truck, motorhome.
Yeah, we've used them for doing complete winterization projects, roof restoration projects, suspension upgrades. They got it all, and super good customer service.
Yes, they are right here in the US, in Missouri. Great customer service. We're going to drop a link to our storefront below that shows all the products that we recommend with eTrailer. And now let's get on to the next one. The next one is just an added layer of security, and we're going to annoy you again with some sounds, but this is an alarm for a door or a window. These are super simple. What are these even called, babe?
Window and door alarms.
Window and door alarms. So what we use for these is I just got like some 3M sticky adhesive and then a command strip on the other side. Depending on what your space looks like, you could move this around in different configurations. Just make sure that these arrows line up, and then it has a setting on it. You can turn it off. You can have it on chime, where it goes like this.
No thanks. That sounds like 7-Eleven gas station.
Or you can have it on alarm, which I don't have to play for you. You can test one out and you can get one on your own, but alarm basically goes off and continues to go off. So we turn these on at night when we go to sleep, because we don't want that every single time somebody walks in and out of the door. But in the evening or at night, once we're tucked in for the night, we turn that on, lock our door. It's a layer of added security. Or if you have little kids, this could be really beneficial if you're somewhere where it might be dangerous for them to go out, like when we camped in the Badlands and we were right on the edge of a cliff, or if you have little ones and maybe you're taking a shower and you can't keep your eyes on them, you know, every single second. This will alert you if the door is opened. So super simple. I think, what do they cost? Less than $10? Something like that. So if you have doors, windows that you want some extra security, get some of these guys.
Oh yeah. All right, so for this on-the-fly DIY, see how fast I can get this done, we're going to install gas stop. We had this on our last 2 trailers, and with this brand new one, we just haven't had the time to do it yet. So what this does is stops gas during like a catastrophic gas emergency, like a ruptured line or something, right? So you know we got all the gas lines, goes right down right here and goes all the way down, crisscross applesauce, and then down to your fridge or wherever your components are. You're driving down the road. If one of those ruptures, then you turn your hose on, or if you drive with your gas on. Not going to get into that debate, but speaking of which, I guess real quick, leave us a little comment below if you happen to travel with your gas still on.
We turn ours off.
We turn ours off now because we got a couple pictures sent to us of people's rigs exploding while they're driving down the road. I don't want to be one of those guys. So anyways, let us know in the caption if you travel with gas on or not. But gas stop, if you did have some kind of rupture, it will stop the gas flow from going to your trailer. And it also has this little convenient gauge. Gas Stop says that when it gets to the red, you have roughly between 20 and 30 minutes of gas. It's not like a dead accurate. I haven't actually found, we did a video not too long ago, I haven't found a single gas meter that actually is accurate other than the hot water technique. So if you got something else, also let us know. So anyways, Gas Stop is just this one piece. You take this piece off, you shut your gas off, so make sure your gas is completely shut off. You could bleed the lines on the inside if you really wanted to. So all you're gonna do is just make sure that that was closed. Open? Yeah, that was closed.
Is there that much just in the line?
Oh no, it wasn't closed.
Oh, it was open. Turn your gas off, people.
Good night, James. Okay, so then you take these little bad mamba jambas out of the American style packaging.
If only we had some sort of tool for cutting.
Like my hands. So check this out, Gas Stop, right? All you do is you're gonna be plugging it in. I'm gonna show you a couple of things real quick. One, with the Gas Stop, you want it to be, the gauge to be facing up. That's just how they designed it. Now, most RVs are more than likely going to need an additional line, because if I were to, even if I move this around, or this hose I got is too short. So either way I move my tank, I'm gonna either put a bend on my hose here, or it's gonna protrude outside of this line. And when I go to shut my door, it's gonna hit the hose, right? So we don't want that.
Yeah, no hitting hose.
No hitting hose. No hitting hose. So what we're gonna do is, conveniently, Gas Stop sells a number of different braided lines, and these are much more flexible, and they have a 90-degree adapter right here on the end that's gonna now plug into this, and I'm gonna have a little bit more room, and I'm gonna show you why that's so nice. Also, I'm noticing on our last setup, I did not have to use this little adapter that they also give in the package, this one. This smaller size here fit perfectly into our last regulator, but this is a little bit bigger, so I'm actually gonna use this. So let's look at this real fast. Got that little crescent wrench right over there.
You're at 4 minutes. You think you can do it under 5?
Oh man, what? Put the pressure on and go.
There goes the door.
There goes the door. Okay, so while all I'm gonna do real quick is take off this little section here. That from the manufacturer had the gas glue in there. One of the things that I really like about the Gas Stop is, even though its purpose is for like a catastrophic safety issue, the Gas Stop itself, you can check if you have an actual leak. I usually do this when we go to set up at a new spot. You prime it, because you're gonna have to prime it every single time. And what I mean by prime is when you got everything set up, this little gauge here, you press that down, and you press that, I think it's 6 times, 4 to 6 times, and then it's gonna prime the whole system. But what's really nice is if you look at your gauge on top, on the last rig, I had a little grease pencil in here, which I'll put back in here. I just marked it when I turn this on and I pressurize it. I marked that with the grease pencil, and after about 3 minutes, you come back and you check that, and if it's moved, you got a leak somewhere inside your line.
And then you get the sniffer.
And then you get your sniffer. Oh, we haven't showed the sniffer yet. They give you this little adapter. Now, you don't have to use any type of glue or gas tape where you connect these two, right? These two you just tighten on. Make sure they're tight. But where this goes into your actual regulator for your system here, you are gonna put tape on this piece I just added onto here.
You're doing a great job.
I do want to take this moment to say that I think the propane setups, this whole medieval contraption, they need to come up with something that betters those. We're just going to times this by 2, guys. I'm only going to show you one, just not to bore you.
It's the exact same.
Okay,
right?
so real quick.
You order one for each tank?
You would have to have a gas stop per side, right? So here's the braided hose, and they come in different sizes. So get you whatever works for you. What I got a little bit longer one because what I remember on my last one is I had to tilt my gas stop so it kind of went in here, right? And then this, because of the 90, is gonna fit just like so. And then my door is gonna shut just fine, right? So I'm gonna show you something. Let me just I'm gonna turn gas on, and here's where we would also use our sniffer and or bubble water. So you want this facing up.
We're gonna have it turned a little bit.
I'm gonna have it turned to the side just so you can see it. Press this, or prime it as they say. And there you go. So you can see I'm in the high. That means I got high pressure on the inside of my tank. Doesn't show, that's not an indicator of how much actual gas you have in there. It's based off of the actual gas pressure. Basically, that's what that's gonna look like. Real quick, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take the gas sniffer and I'm gonna put it right here. Also a little bottle of soapy water. If I have any kind of leak, that'll bubble up or it'll give me something on my sniffer. And so 10 minutes with talking for one side.
Yeah, if you didn't have a wife talking to you and filming, I bet you could do it in 9.5.
5 minutes, maybe. All right, next one, here we go.
So, two that are here are a keyless lock. This is a huge safety security upgrade. Lots of RVs are keyed alike. I think it's something like 70%. So if you install one of these, you can choose your own code. You can change the code so that if you give it to somebody who you no longer want to have access to your RV, they will not. We got really lucky having a glass door that this one fit in here because there can be issues with that. But check it out. Highly recommend one of those. Also, as full timers, we use a Blink doorbell camera so that we can see when somebody is here, or we can check the RV when we're away from the app that we have on our phone. You do have to have Wi-Fi for this to work. So if you're not going to have Wi-Fi, it's not worth getting one. But there are some that also run on like their own network. So those are two for safety that we recommend. Now, on to the last one.
Next one is a kingpin lock. So if you have this style of kingpin, this just slips right over the top. It's very simple. It's got a push button. Key turns it on and off, and then that, if you're ever like, if you're storing it for the winter or it's in a spot where you kind of feel a little sketched out, just add a little bit of security and then you don't got to worry. You can just go do whatever you want at ease.
Yeah, nobody's hooking up a fifth wheel with that thing on there.
No way. And this thing is, once it's on here, you guys, it is insane. You can't even move it. It's like these things are on there.
Hopefully this makes you feel safer, or maybe you now have a to-do list of things that you need to add to your RV. Either way, that's what we have for today. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. What else?
We put out a show every single Wednesday and every single Sunday. So maybe you hit the notification button if you like all this joy.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Have a good week. We'll see you on the next one.